Donna Valdez, and this is our weekly corporate update call. We host these calls every single week as a way to communicate with you, our brand promoters. These calls are meant to provide you news, updates, share tips, techniques, things that are going on in the office, things that you need to know about in the field. We'll also be making introductions to corporate, other staff members. But without further ado, I want to introduce everyone out there in Vidacup world to our Chief Scientific Advisor, Dr. Daria Davidson. Dr. Davidson, it's all yours.
And Donna, thank you. I'm going to take about 15 minutes if that's okay, and then I'm going to turn it back to you, okay?
Absolutely.
Okay, great. Hi, guys. Thank you so much for your time tonight. I know those of you who are on the East Coast, it's getting late, but I'm in the Seattle area, so I'm in the West Coast. I heard Donna say that she's got folks from all over the country calling in on the previous call, which I did listen into, and indeed, she's still looking for somebody in Alaska. So, yep, I hear you. Start thinking to yourselves, who do I know in Alaska that deserves to know that there's something new afoot here? So as I get into this a little bit, obviously in 15 minutes you're not going to learn everything, but what I would like for you to get a sense of is we actually do have very impactful products here that will do good things for people, that will allow those of you who are going to be brand promoters with Vidacup to have an opportunity to bring something of value to the marketplace. As I was looking at Vidacup's website, which came live a little over a week ago, their mission statement: our mission is to create a business where integrity is expected and common, and people come first. Doesn't that feel good? My experience with Jeff and with Donna has indeed been almost 2 decades now, and I'll tell you, those guys will work really, really hard for you. As you read my bio, you'll see that I spent 20 years as an emergency room doctor, 11 of them running a big trauma center that would be like the TV show ER. No George Clooney, but we certainly put in a lot of hours. In 1992, September of 1992, that would be 20 years ago this month, I was diagnosed with cancer, and I was told I would never hear the word cure. Now, I was putting in about 100 hours a week back then. I was making very, very good money, but I was paying a big price for it, and I was paying off a lot of student loans with the income that I earned. When I was told I would never hear the word cure, that was obviously quite shocking. So it's a thrill to be here with you 20 years later. I'm extremely healthy, and a lot of that has to do with the decisions that I've made along the way, and that will be true for all of us. We make good decisions when we can. Our goal is to be aware and to use good judgment, and that's what I'll attempt to do as we move forward, explaining for you what's in these different products, why is that valuable, and make it easy for you to share the information. The goal would be, hey, if I can just invite someone to experience the product from a taste standpoint and then invite them to learn more about what's in that wonderful tasting formula that they're using, whether it's the Mojo or the Ageless Brew or the Extreme, for those people who love a little bit of energy. And by the way, Extreme, beautiful product, very low calories, extremely high ORAC value, which means its antioxidant component is very, very high, and very modest in the caffeine content. So it's not getting its effect by slamming huge doses of caffeine into a person. It's a lovely product. Anyway, so let's go ahead and get started a bit. As I mentioned, I got a cancer diagnosis in 1992. In 1995, I really started looking more broadly at what else might I want to do to support my own health, and also potentially, healthful ideas for other people. As a doctor, I've taken an oath to first do no harm, and yet I know that many of the prescriptions that I would prescribe for people did come with harm. So it took a long time. I ultimately got board certified in integrative holistic medicine as well as emergency medicine. I started phasing out my emergency medicine practice and began a private practice that does consultation in the world of integrative and holistic medicine. And I've lectured actually to a couple of 100,000 people all over the world on different strategies of how do I create a more healthful environment for myself in the world that I live in. One of the nice things about Vidacup is their goal is to meet you where you live. Indeed, we all do know someone who likes coffee, who enjoys it. We all know someone who would like to be healthier. We know someone who may be attracted to our products for sure. what if we could take them where they live and give them a health benefit that they didn't expect to have? Wouldn't that be a nice addition? So as time goes on over the next weeks and months, we'll go into different ingredients. We'll give you a lot of ideas of, oh, wow, that really is good stuff. But what I'd like to focus on is a component that's in each and every Vidacup product. It's a component called H1X1 Super Concentrate. Sounds like a made-up name, and it's completely not. So in quick history on that, and again, I can go on for an hour about this, we know that in traditional Chinese medicine, they've used medicinal mushrooms for thousands of years. It's not new there. For those of you who come from an Asian background, you'll be nodding your heads up and down right now. For the rest of us, gee, we didn't know that. But just because we didn't know it doesn't mean it wasn't true. So in the world of traditional Chinese medicine, medicinal mushrooms have a great regard. They still do today, very popular. Well, some 30 years ago now, some Japanese researchers were in Brazil doing some research on some folks who were living to be an extremely old age and really healthy. They weren't just, living to be 100 plus, but they actually were robust. They didn't have all the kind of the wear and tear things that they were so used to seeing in people as they aged. They were curious about what the reason might be. Could it be where they live? Could it be genetics? Could be many things. But one thing that they noticed is that they used a particular mushroom that grew there in their daily activities, and that created some level of interest. So those researchers took that mushroom back to Japan. Again, coming from a world of medicinal mushrooms, their curiosity was, gee, I wonder if there's something in it that might be healthful. Well, what they found that it was extremely healthful. Now, again, in my medical practice, you know what? I have a license to practice medicine, and the people who see me in my practice are my patients. Now, obviously, being a Chief Scientific Advisor for Vidacup, I'm not going to practice medicine here, nor will you. We are going to support people's good, robust health by giving them information and access to products that can be very, very helpful for them. But back in Japan, as they were trying to figure out the value of this mushroom from Brazil, the name of that mushroom is Agaricus blazei, and if you can spell it, you can certainly find plenty of information on the internet. What they found, though, was they compared it to 14 of the top-ranked medicinal mushrooms within Chinese medicine, and they did so in a laboratory model where animals actually were given a chemical that would cause them to get cancer. And what they found, surprisingly, in that environment was when they gave them the different mushrooms afterwards, 15 different groups with 15 different mushrooms, the top-rated one to help those animals eradicate their cancer was agaricus, this mushroom from Brazil. And the lowest of the 15 happened to be Ganoderma, which is also called reishi mushroom. So if you've heard of Ganoderma or reishi, that certainly had a beneficial effect, but the top one happened to be the agaricus. So that started a lot of excitement in Japan, and that's really where the buzz all started about agaricus. Now, in my practice, I deal with a lot of individuals who are dealing with serious diagnoses, and quite commonly they're dealing with a cancer diagnosis. I was looking for a medicinal mushroom that I felt would be beneficial for them to support their immune function as we were trying to keep them healthy and robust as long as possible. And actually, long before Vidacup came along, long before it was even a twinkle in somebody's eye, Jeff's eye or Donna or someone's eye, this product had begun its journey to the marketplace. What happened was a Japanese fellow had some extreme health benefits from the use of agaricus and was excited by that. But the problem with mushrooms, folks, is that mushrooms are like sponges. They're more like us than they are like plants. I mean, we take in oxygen and give off carbon dioxide. Plants take in carbon dioxide and give off oxygen. Mushrooms take in oxygen and give off carbon dioxide. So don't be thinking of them as a plant. They are a whole different species. The problem with mushrooms is that they are extremely unstable. They will absorb whatever they grow on, including toxins, and indeed some bad agaricus had come into Japan years ago, causing some people to get very ill. I think even some deaths related to the toxins that were in there. So as we go down the line here on this particular product, H1X1 is a hybrid. This businessman in Japan who I had the pleasure to meet for the first time, probably 9 or 10 years ago now, I've met him many times, he started looking for someone somewhere who could create a product that would be super high potency and extremely pure and consistent from one growth to the next, from each harvest. He ultimately identified the largest mushroom manufacturer in the country, in the world. I've actually met with their mycologists. I've reviewed all of it. And what they did is they started looking at how do we find that top strain of agaricus at super high potency. They analyzed every strain that they had coming in. Ultimately, they introduced a strain of agaricus from Northern California to the original strain that was found by the Japanese researchers up in Brazil, in the high area of Brazil. And that particular combo was so much more powerful than anything individually that it just happened to be called H1X1. And they were actually given a patent for that. And that's amazing because it's hard to patent nature. So H1X1 is a very special type of Agaricus blazei. There's nothing like it. I don't even have a second choice when it comes to Agaricus at all. If somebody says, well, I want to use a different brand, I can't even give them a recommendation because I just love the quality of what was created there. So those products, the H1X1, are only available to the company that now provides this to Vidacup in the super concentrate. It's not the dried mushrooms. The mushrooms are organic, for sure, grown organically. And by the way, all of the spores, which is like the seed of a mushroom, are kept in controlled humidity and temperature in a vault in the United States, another backup vault in Europe, on the off chance that anything would ever happen to it. And every time they're going to make a new crop, they genetically fingerprint it to make sure it's not in any way altered. So there are a lot of bells and whistles have gone into this. And this is a product that I've had experience with, not the super concentrate. This is the newest iteration. I've used a very high potency extract of it. It takes a lot of this to get really good value and benefits, and I've certainly seen it with many, many, many people and myself and other family members, including my pets. The super concentrate is the newest iteration. What they've been able to do is take a new extraction process and take the original H1X1 mushrooms and put it through that process. That creates an extremely high potency product that is in the powder form. Don't have to worry about the taste issue, which is a big plus, and it's extremely high potency, so it doesn't take much to give you great value. Now, as we go on, don't try to remember all this. I'll give you something that you can have in writing or listen to or watch as a video or something as we go on, but just understand that's the magic that is in each and every product that Vidacup has, and the company that holds exclusive rights to the H1X1 mushroom itself and has all the processing that brings us a super concentrate. They've awarded exclusive global rights to this particular super concentrate to Vidacup, and I did check with the company directly to verify that, to my ears as well, that is absolutely the case. The only company that they've ever entered into an agreement with to bring this product to the world is Vidacup. So my friend, and by the way, there's some, I've actually also heard that it's being used for some research in some international markets, not uncommon. I've seen this before where, again, in the world, not for how do we have somebody have a healthful cup of coffee or a beverage, but in the world of true integrative medicine, it's been utilized a lot in that environment for supporting people who are dealing with serious diagnoses. So, folks, listen up as we go. We will give you the FAQs answered as we go along. Obviously, this is a brand new start. We can't get that much done. There's only 24 hours in the day, so just give us a little time to get it done. I really appreciated what Donna said, that that what you really want from this company is a high-quality product with high impact that's truly a functional beverage. You'll absolutely be blown away by how true that is for each of the products. You'd like to make sure that the products are shipped on time, that those of you who are brand promoters with Vidacup, that your checks are paid to you on time, and that customer service answers the phone on time. I anticipate there'll be hiccups here and there, probably on the phone side of it. I doubt on the other parts. I'd be surprised by that. But if you have to wait a little bit for customer service, I wouldn't be surprised if this company gets started. So with that, I'm looking forward to really helping you understand the impact of these products. Those of you who will benefit from them, good for you for making a wise decision. And for those of you who are looking to create some additional income or to change the, how does income come to you? How does it support your life and the life of your family? You'll have fun here. You're in really good hands. I've known Jeff for a long time. I've known Donna for a long time. There's a skill set that brings a lot of asset to this project, and those assets will help you as you bring your own assets here to go make Vidacup a household name. So with that, Donna, I'm going to turn this right back to you. Thank you so much for inviting me on tonight.
No, thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule, Daria. And like I said, it's a blessing to have you part of this company. And I know your name, your character, your reputation, of course, means a lot. And you wouldn't have done this lightly without serious thought. And knowing you as I do, I just feel thank you for aligning yourselves with us. And we're going to have a lot of fun. And I can't wait. This is going to be fun. We've had, and I'll just share this with everyone, just so that we can give them a little sneak peek. What if you had Dr. Davidson and all of her knowledge and all of her information at your fingertips? And this is something that we're going to work together closely on. We're going to provide, what did you want to call it, the Doctor's Corner?
Yeah, we'll call it probably the Doctor's Corner. It may just be the Science Corner. We haven't decided on that yet, but a place where those of you who like to, and we don't want you to do this, guys. I mean, don't make this complicated. It's really, really simple, but we know that there are some engineers out there, and there are some people who will, want to dig into everything. We'll give you a place to go do that. Again, I'm not recommending you spend a lot of time there. And by the way, the other thing that you just said, Donna, is so true. I have a checklist. I do consulting for companies, and I have a checklist. If a company wants me in any way at all to help them, even explain to the field what's their product all about, I first look at what's in it to make sure that there's nothing in it that would even make me nervous. Secondarily, then I look at if I'm even considering it. I look at the manufacturing. I go right down the line. I have a huge checklist. So Vidacup, it is a two-way street here. When they said, hey, would you consider this? The timing was right. They put together beautiful products. I love the fact, guys, that this is not heavy lifting. Don't get too bogged down in the details. We'll make it simple for you. Just let our explanation carry the weight for you. Get out there and open your mouth and just extend an invitation. Here's what I've learned. If we don't invite somebody, then it's kind of like, it's like this. If I have a party and I don't invite you, then I made the decision for you. If I have a party and I invite you but you don't come, you made the decision. And I don't want to make the decisions for you. So we just want to make it easier for you to invite people to come and see what we've got here. I think you'll be I know you'll be impressed with the products. I think you're going to love the entire thing as you kind of settle in here, folks. So again, for the brand promoters, welcome aboard.
Dr. Davidson, thank you so much for joining us tonight, and welcome again to the family. Have a great night, everybody. Take care.